Hello, habari zenu. How are you doing today? Happy holidays. Again, we're still in the festivities. It's a beautiful time. We are grateful for our life. We're grateful for the birth of Jesus, which just brought so much joy. Yani, hii season inahoga tu season, iko tu na raha raha, iko tu na some, some good vibes up. And so I'm well. I hope you're well. Karibuni sana. This is Sister Talk, and my name is Miriam Dulo, and I have this vlog. I would call it a vlog on this program called Sister Talk, where I just speak to sisters. My main aim is women because I believe that women actually drive the world. Women run the world, and if women took up their space, took up their space like they should, took up their mandatory duties like they should, and I believe the world would be a completely better place. Because if we took care of our children the way we should, if we took care of our husbands, if we took care of ourselves the way we should, I think the world would be so much better. And I believe that half the troubles we are facing today, women have something to do with it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So we're just going to correct ourselves one at a time. Okay, I'm not good, I'm not perfect, I have my own issues, and every day I learn. So if I get something, I know something new and I know I've been doing it wrongly, I change from that day onwards. That's what being what leads to a great person. To be a great person means, it does not mean that you're perfect, but it means that every other time you get an opportunity to change something in your life that has been, you've been doing wrong, a habit that you've been doing wrong, something that you've been doing that is not supposed to be that way. And now you know better. And so now you change it, for the betterment of you, yourself, your family, and the community at large. And so, yes, Sister Talk is where we get to have such conversations. Sister Talk is where we get to educate ourselves. I some of these things that I tell you here, I also didn't know them. I didn't wake up knowing them. I found them out from people. And if I know something interesting and I find out something good from somebody, or I hear or I read, or I bring it straight here, because we all want to be educated. We all want to be well informed. We all want to be in a place that we can help the society. Okay? And so I just thank God, because we are living in a time and space where getting out word is not hard. Getting out information is not hard. And that's why I keep saying, when you get these messages and they have helped you one way or another, or somebody somewhere who for a fact they need to listen to this message, I would highly recommend that you share on your page, share on your WhatsApp status, on all your statuses, on all your platforms. So even if you don't want to tell them directly, they'll get it from there. They'll just click on it and they'll be like, oh, okay. So don't stay with information just the same way I don't stay with information. This information that I give you, I get it from people, from sermons, from people, where this is, I read from wherever it is, from my mama, my aunties, anywhere I get information that I feel is important for this generation, is important for us to change how we are living. I bring it straight here. And so I kindly do the same. That is our motto here. Do the same. When you get something good, share it. In fact, if you get something good that you want me to share with other people, tell me, text me, DM me, tell me this and this. I think you need to talk about this topic. You need to talk about this. You need to talk about this, and so that will help me know where to highlight, where we need to put the light on, where we need to put the spotlight on, so that we can educate ourselves in that area. And I'm sure I have so much to read from you people. I have so much to learn from you people. So if you help me, we help each other, and as we help each other, help other people out there. So just to grow sisi wote pamoja. I was recently in a podcast where we were speaking about the topic of the podcast was pretty women don't and don't make good wives, or don't get married at all. They struggle to find husbands, or good husbands, for that reason. And to some extent, I kind of agreed. To some extent, not 100%, but to some extent, I agreed with it, because it was established in that podcast that pretty women, they tend to rely on their pretty selves. So they kind of pull the pretty card everywhere they go. Everywhere they get they stumble on some challenges, they just pull the pretty card and it's done. And so this means in their life, they've never struggled for anything. Every time they need something, they'll just put the pretty card out and they get it done. And so that's wrong, because now what happens is the pretty card has a shelf life to it. You know that, right? And a time will come when you'll pull it and nobody will be like, ooh, you know, it will not always work. It might work in your younger years, yes, but there's a time that will come that it won't work. And that time is when you want to have invested from your younger days. Now, if your younger days, you're busy pulling out the pretty card and busy dishing out everything, and your body is for everybody just because you think you're pretty, a time will come when that will not work again. Now, if it can't work at your 40, you're 35, you're 40 years old, what are you supposed to do with life? You know, and that's why you get now our bitter girls, bitter women saying, oh, life is hard, oh, marriage is a scam, oh, men are dogs. This information comes from people who they never invested in themselves, they never invested in life, and now time has passed. Time to invest is gone. It's time to reap, and people who invested are reaping. But you, since you invested in pretty, now it's time to invest. How can you invest in pretty? You know, and that's why I tell women, here you can be pretty. Being pretty is I'm pretty and I'm here. You know, I know pretty women who have it going. You know, you have your job, you don't rely on anybody. You have your manners, you have your morals. You don't go posting picha huko sijui umevaa vitu gani hizo zinaonyesha every part of your body. Yani you clearly are selling yourself. Yani kuna picha tu zenye unaweza angalia hivi kwa mtandao uko like una yako soko. Huyu anauza na si chakula anauza na si mboga. She is selling her own self. So I am here for such. I am here so that we can grow from that. I want us to go back to the woman, the old traditional woman, the woman who was, let's say, maybe a change because the life has changed. So the woman of today is more educated. Ule wa kitambo hakuwa educated. But apart from that, there's that woman who had her children together, had her things together, had you know, alikuwa na mambo zake amejipanga. Kama ni shamba yake ukiangalia imelimwa vizuri, ni safi. Kama ni nyumba yake ameosha, watoto wake wote ni wasafi. The woman is not there kwa TikTok. Kwa nini every other time, every second of the day ako kwa simu? No, you know, there are other things in life apart from your phone, internet. Posting yourself every other time. Not unless you're an influencer and you're getting money from that. And even that has limits, you know. You don't just wake up in the morning and decide, so all of a sudden, you're going to post literally everything about yourself online, you know. You need to have some limits to it. And so that woman is the woman I want to bring back into this society. That woman who was so respectful to me. Yani alikuwa akiingia hivi mali wazee wamekaa, ako na adabu. Wingi tu na mdomo, wanaume wamekaa hapo, wazee wako na heshima na adabu, umevaa sijui nini. Manze, don't. Like say tunaenda festivities. People are going to shags. Please, our dear slay mamas, beautiful, pretty girls. We know you're cute, we know you're pretty, we know you have a good body. But kindly, look for something decent to wear ukiwa nyumbani. Kuko na wazee pale, kuko na watu wako na heshima, kuna wamama, kuna your parents are there. Your relatives, people that you respect, people that you're supposed to come to siku yenye utakuja kutolewa mahari. So kindly, when we are going for these festivities tukienda ushago, wachana na tights, not unless unavaa dira juu. Don't go showing off your behind uko ushago. No one cares. Hata they don't care. Just dress, in fact, the best clothes hapa hivi ukienda ushago. Chapa tu dira zako, okota dira zako ka 5. Moja ya kila siku. Vizuri tu. Dira zako nzuri safi, uko na heshima. You know, you don't look ratchetish. Don't take this ratchetish Nairobi ushago. Usiende kuaibisha mama yako mbele ya wazazi wengine, mbele ya rafiki zake, mbele ya watu wa nyumbani. Don't do that. Okay? Let's go there with some manners, some respect. And that's why I'm saying we are bringing the Kitambo woman back, because that woman would never show up mbele ya watu even bila leso. You understand? I go to shags and I'm there, I'm seeing my mom as she's preparing to go to church, and she's wearing a whole long clothes. Obviously I have give it to fupi. But guess what? On top of hiyo nguo refu, anataka kufunga leso juu anaenda church. That respect. Anataka mtu at any point apate anaona mwili yake, anaona, you know, in church she wants to be very respectful where there are people who matter, you know. And so hata kukiwa na event, kuna event tumeenda naye mahali, utaona tu amevaa nguo yake fiti, akifika huko akiingia tu kwa mlango hivi leso. That is the woman that I want us to bring up. Hii kushinda umejianika mwili, kushinda umechoma, umevaa vitu zimekuchora, it does not help. It just makes you look ratchet. It just makes you look up and empty, you know, and it gives that vibe of the pretty girl, the pretty girl card that you always pull up thinking it's going to save you on every count. Stop it. Sawa. I want us to bring back the traditional woman. Nowadays, atakuwa ako learned, yes. She got a job, yes. But she's taking care of her children. She's not out drinking until 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning. When you come home at 2 a.m. in the morning, who is doing homework with your children? CBC, my friend, si ya watoto, ni ya wazazi. And I know, I hope you know that. So if you have children and they need to do homework, when you come home at 1, 2, who is doing this homework with them? How do you know kuna mtoto anabully mtoto wako shule? How do you know your child was harassed somewhere? How do you know how your child's day was? If you come in kama ameshalala, or every day you're high. Now in the morning when you're supposed to be making them breakfast, na hangover inakuwa. So how will you know that, you know, in the morning, how will you make them breakfast? How will you make them to sausage, ka pancake, some samosas hapo, some nini? When will you do that? If you're always hanging in the morning, Saturday siku wenye wako home, they are waiting, they want to celebrate and be happy with their mom, ako home. Wewe sasa hiyo ndo siku, hata utaki kuona, utaamka saa 6, saa 5. Now tell me surely, like seriously, were you brought up like that? Was your mom coming home at 3 a.m. in the morning kauju? Let's bring that woman back. Tuachane na mchezo tumejiekea, tunapoteza watoto wetu. This is how our children are going into lesbianism, homosexuals, they're going into drugs, they're going into alcoholism. You don't know. Why? You are never there. You're busy chasing nonsensicals huko nje. God gives you, let me tell you something, the moment you give birth, your entire life revolves around that child and the well-being of that child, and how that child is going to grow is entirely up to you. Usiachie msichana wa kazi, usiachie sijui nani, that is your responsibility until wewe ukufe ama yeye akufe, one of you, but huo mtoto ni wako forever. So when you give birth, please take care of your children. If we all took care of our children, aki tungekuwa na waizi wachache sana, because obviously kuna wale watoto wenye hata uangaliaje aski na haambiwi. That's a different case. But kuna ule mwenye ni kujua hajui, ni kuambiwa kuambiwa. They didn't have anybody to tell them this is wrong. They didn't have anybody to tell them you should not do this, this and this. Why? Because the person who was kept there to tell them was out there enjoying themselves, drinking herself to death, you know. And let me tell you something, men, I can't compare us with men. Men wako tu, women ndo tumepatiwa your responsibility ya kuhakikisha mtoto anakuwa kwa namna fulani. Tabia za mtoto, because you spend more time with that child. And so how this child turns out, half the time it's your doing. Because the man is half the time not there, anatafuta pesa huko nje ana nini. And of course I know you're going to argue that si pia mimi natafuta pesa, sema anafanya. So wewe utaargue hivyo, but at the expense of your child akipotea. For what reason really? For what purpose? Are you looking for money for what? Hii pesa I thought hii pesa ni ya kusaidia mtoto wako asome poa. Hii pesa ni ya kusaidia mtoto wako aishi life poa, na pia mtoto ataishi life poa kama ameoza. Okay? And so I expect that yes, unatafuta do, but there's a boundary. Let me tell you something. There's a boundary. And if I am doing a job that is restricting me from raising my child the way I should raise my child, I'm sorry, I'm quitting that job. Because being a mother is the first job I have in life. I have to take care of my child first before I can go look for any other thing, you know. And since I am in partnership with my husband, I'll just tell him, my friend, I have a feeling hii shughuli ya kulea utanisaidia kipesa na mimi ndakusaidia kulea. Juu naona kazi itaweza. Or utanifungulia biashara, tukitafuta pesa tutafungua biashara. I can do a business that I'm doing it with my own timelines. Unajua? But don't force kazi yenye ina take you away from your children, especially when they are young, especially from 0 to teenagehood. Don't take up a job that is going to consume all your time, consume all your energy, that you cannot stay with your children. It is very, very important for you to stay close to your children, especially during those ages, because upon your world iko tu hivi, inangoja tu uangalie kando wa grab, wanamgrab na wanaenda na yeye, you know, and before you know it you'll find unalea kitu haujui. So let's take care of our children. Let's bring that traditional woman back who hit her children wakimisbehave. Si kuwachapa uwe ama uwaumize. It is not traumatizing. People keep saying that it's due to you traumatized. Mi nilichapwa, and I thank God that I nilichapwa, because kama singechapwa I don't know where I would have been today. And so kuchapa mtoto si mbaya. Kuna ile kuchapa yenye inaweza, kuna age limits za kuchapa watoto, and I think I've spoken about disciplining of children and their age limits. If you check on my videos you'll find it, how to chapa your child. You cannot have a child mwenye haumchapi. Biblia haikuwa jinga. Let me tell you something. God gave us these children. God gave us the manual in which we can follow to raise these children, because he knows. And God says the heart of a child is wicked. It wants to just misbehave. It's mischievous. Inataka tu kutafuta shida ifanye. And so if you're a parent and you're there, everything goes, you're not helping your child. The Bible imesema do not put that rod down. The moment you put it down, that's it. And there's a time to use it. Not ati mtu mkubwa mnatoshana hivi unamchapa, sasa wewe unamchapa nini? Alishakauka bana, samaki ukunjwa gali mbichi. Kama si mbichi mwache. Lakini wakati yako mbichi, deal with that child then. Instill every moral, every tabia, everything that you need to instill. Now, this say there are children who even after doing that, they are going to to become wayward. You will pray for them and everything, but unajua at the end of the day mtoto akona life yake, akona choices zake za kumake. So wewe kama mzazi you need to do your part, and then the rest achia Mungu na mtoto ajipange ki life. You know, but usiachilie mtoto at any point. Walk with your child hand by hand. Don't let house helps raise your child. Don't let other people raise your child in. Kama watu wanaendanga tiju unaolewa wapi alafu unazaa unaacha mtoto huko. My friend, don't be at any single point in time, don't be away from your child. Always be present in your child's life. Know what your child is doing. Know what your child is going, who she's playing or he is playing with, she's spending time with. Know all these things. Imambo na chambato sijui wapi. We have seen them today, grown-ups. I know somebody today who was left and they behave like sijui mnyama wa kichaka. Yani kuna vitu zenye ni common sense. Like you're like, this is common sense, right? To them it's not. They're like, what are you saying? Me is sijaiona. Because they were not brought up by their mother. Their mother was not around when they were growing up, alienda. And so now what they know is what they found. And that is final for them. Na ataishi life even knowing that that's how it's supposed to be done. So let's help our children. Let's bring back the traditional woman who is very active. The Bible says in Proverbs 31, woman, she's rich. She's not poor, meaning she is not lazy. She does not pull the pretty card everywhere she goes. She does the job, gets the job done, gets paid for what she has done. She has businesses, she has land, she has, you know, aisemi huyo mwanamke ni wakukaa kwa nyumba aletewe ati ni wajikoni akage akipika saa yote. No. The Bible says huyo mwanamke ni active. She wakes up early in the morning. Amki saa 5 saa 6 na hangover. She wakes up before everybody in her house. Makes sure everything is set. Make sure the children wamekula. Makes sure the husband is taken care of. Makes sure her boma yake ni safi. Kila kitu ni safi. Yeye na wanawake wengine huko nje hawakosani. Akona adabu. That woman when she speaks, the Bible says if that woman opens her mouth to speak, she speaks with substance. She speaks with wisdom. That is the Proverbs 31 woman. And that's the woman. That's the traditional. Basically, you're the traditional woman, if I can say. You know, difference tu ni ati traditional woman hajasoma. But sasa leo hii tuko na Proverbs 31 woman hii Nairobi amesoma, anafanya kazi, akuwe na biashara zake, akuwe na watoto wake na hawalee vizuri. Toka kwa pombe, my friend. Pombe itakuharibia boma. Pombe itaozesha watoto wako. 3/4 of everybody who drinks today, they started drinking from their house. It was brought in their house, it was kept in their house, and they started drinking from their house. So, utafanya watoto wako waanze kulewa just because ni starehe yako, my friend. Ile siku utazaa, hiyo ndio siku mambo ya starehe, mambo yako iliishia hapo, yani in other words. Your life Your life now revolves around this child, and every decision that you make is, if this child is not benefiting from that decision, then you leave it. That is parenthood. That's why our parents, me I remember my mom alikuwa anafanya kazi Westi, na alikuwa anatoka Westi na mguu anakaa mpaka home so that hiyo pesa ya fare anunulie watoto wake chakula. Imagine. Silewa leo atasema he, watoto wajipange. Mi hii do niko nayo nitaingia nayo hapa, sijui nichukue chupa 2-3 nikingoja sijui Budescom. That is even ndo the Silewa leo anafikiria, even ndo our pretty women wanafikiria. Let's tutoke hapo. Let's put our children first. Let's put our families first. Let's put our morals first before we decide kwenda kufanya maufala huko nje. Are we together? Bring back the traditional woman. My name is Miriam Dullah, and this is The Talk. Tuzidi.